Howdy, with this video, want to go over the career essay, but before I do that, want to go over the schedule real quickly. Doing this video on Thursday, October 14th. For the 16th, the first two paragraphs of the MLA career essay are due. Basically, I just want to see that you've started on the essay, but more particularly, I want to make sure you've focused the topic of your essay on a very specific career field. So if you're gonna be a nurse, what kind of nursing are you getting into? Emergency room nursing, geriatric nursing, NICU, whatever it's going to be. That tends to require a little more education, a little more specialization. So the essay is just not going to be on nursing; it's going to be on whatever specific area of nursing you're thinking about going into. And you're all's ages. It's fair to get to the end of the essay and kind of go like, oh, I don't know, that's a lot more work than I thought it'd be, or I don't know if I can really deal with babies dying on me. Has to be a major stressor in that job. But for so it could be pretty rough. But I do want to kind of see which specific career you're going to get into, and kind of where your essay is headed. After that, we'll start getting into MLA formatting a little bit, and you'll start working on the draft of the career essay. The draft so far is due next Wednesday. That's just kind of a check-in to make sure you're making progress, see if you have any questions. Definitely going to want to start taking a look at like your works cited page and some of the MLA components to make sure you're on the right track there. Then the full draft's due on Saturday the 23rd. We'll do the peer reviews like we did last time. We'll switch out papers, try and help each other out. The peer reviews will be due on the 27th. These are longer essays. They might take me a little while to review the peer reviews and get the essays back to you. So we'll go ahead and get started on reflection 3, which will prep us for the last essay of this semester. Excuse me. And then once you get your peer reviews back, you'll revise them and turn in that final version of the career essay. And then we'll be focused on that MLA medical essay after that. That should keep us off the streets for a little bit. The assignments up there on under essay assignments. And there's a career project. You've probably already seen this because you had to see this for the e-portfolio. Oh, no, I didn't want to search. I hate when websites shift when you're trying to click on stuff. But for this essay, it's located towards the bottom of the assignment sheet. But you're going to write a 1,200 word minimum essay that researches the job you hope to obtain with your 2-year, 4-year college degree or your certificate, whatever you're seeking. Generally, the word count's not a problem with this one. You already kind of did, with the self-regulated learner essay, you already did 800 words probably. So adding the research and a little more information, it's not going to be that hard to. It's not going to be hard to get the word count. Your essay should kind of be persuasive in nature, and basically the idea is showing your audience that you're going to be qualified and you got a good plan to pursue this career. Either that or the essay may get to the end and kind of say like, hey, after researching this career, I may slide towards a different direction. But generally most students kind of say, okay, I think I got a good plan here. And keep in mind, at your age, you're probably going to have more than one career throughout your life. For example, I was in restaurants for 20 years and started getting old, and it's hard to work in 110-degree kitchens day after day when you hit 40. So I switched to teaching, right? That's pretty normal. That's going to be fairly normal for students your age. But anyway, so don't feel like this essay is locking you into one particular path. Is what I'm kind of getting at. We're going to be doing MLA formatting. We're going to be getting into the works cited pages and the quotes and summaries and paraphrases. Again, I'll start doing those videos this weekend. You should have a minimum of 3 sources in your essay. A couple of them I'm telling you where to go. The other one's going to be your choice. I should have a short quote, long quote, summary, and paraphrase, again, which we'll talk about in a separate video. Want to use all these fun punctuation. There's a punctuation help sheet up there on help resources, and we want to get some practice with that. No it, you, get, or got, especially you. I have no desire at all to be a nurse. I wouldn't even make a good one. I don't even care when I get hurt. So don't start saying things like, when to be a nurse, you have to do this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a nurse. Just, I have to do this. The essay is about you, right? There's 4 major sections to the essay. How much weight you get to give to each one kind of depends on your career and how much education it takes and things like that, and how much post-education certification it might take. But for the first section, I want a general description of the specific field and your desire to work in it. It can be kind of an introduction paragraph. Why would you want to be a nurse? And kind of something beyond the I like to help people. Everybody likes to help people. Why do you want to deal with sick people at their worst? And all these horrible things nurses have to deal with, right? Including administration. And there's all kinds of stressors for nurses. What makes you want to make this a career? So you might start getting into that a little bit. But you definitely want to get that specific field. And that's what I'm going to be looking for with the first two paragraphs. That may just be the first paragraph you send me, but as long as I have that information, we'll be good to go for Saturday. The second section, I want the detailed requirements for the job. This should be a major part of your essay because at this point you don't have any post-high school education, or most of you don't. So what specific college degrees do you need? Do these degrees have to be accredited by a certain body? Something very important if you go into a private school. Are they accredited by a national agency? Most are because they need to be accredited to get federal financial aid. But something to check out. Sometimes schools lose their accreditation. That can cause a lot of trouble for students. What other certifications? Even once you get your, for example, with nursing, once you get your nursing degree, that doesn't mean you're a nurse. You have to pass the NCLEX. If you don't pass that, you're just a very educated non-nurse person. I don't know what your designation is. But you also have to pass a licensing exam. If you're going to work in the NICU, you probably need more certifications after that, after just the basic degree. So you want to get into all that. So this is going to take more than one paragraph probably for most of you. What kind of required physical abilities? If you're a nurse, you're on your feet a lot. You got to be able to lift people and not like people sometimes, right? Can you lift an obese person without hurting yourself? What kind of personality traits? Again, I don't have the personality to be a good nurse, so it's not a field if I was researching that, I might be kind of go like, hey, wait a minute, you got to care about other people that way. But do you have the desired personality traits? Most of these jobs require you to work with other people and communicate with other people. That may be something when you're in your essay, you might start saying, hey, I need to work on this a little bit. Or you might say, hey, I'm really good at this. That section also should include your academic plan. Again, the academic plan you're going to put in here is just the 2-year for your first degree, which might be your 2-year degree. A couple of you had 4-year degree, which is fine. But if you're going to list your 2-year degree and then transfer to a 4-year school, you still want to talk about what's going to entail once you transfer to King or ETSU or wherever. What's involved with that? You don't have to list another academic plan, but you do want to talk about that within your essay. You also might talk a little bit about the cost of your education. How are you going to pay for all this? If you have a college fund built up and you're good to go, great. If you don't, what kind of scholarships can you pursue? What kind of financial aid can you look at? And that's kind of what we kind of talked about a little bit with the scholarship letter. The more money you get, the better off you're going to be, right? But college ain't cheap anymore, so you might put some information about that. The third section, and you can kind of see these last 3 sections are the bulk of the essay. Want a detailed discussion of the chosen career path, salary information, and as you give this information, make sure you commented on it. If you say nurses make $75,000 a year, is that good money to you? Is that going to be worth it to have these 12-hour shifts and everybody breathing down your neck? And if you make a mistake, somebody might die. It's a lot of stress. Is that money going to be worth it, right? Are there local job opportunities? Right now with healthcare, there's plenty of job openings because they're having a lot of controversy with the COVID vaccines and things like that. People are just quitting. They're just getting sick of it all. Are there national, international job opportunities? If so, are you willing to move to pursue your education? One of you have been talking about musical theater. Are you willing to go to where the theater is to pursue that kind of career, right? And of course, the future prospects of the job. Not every career is always going to be growing. Certain types of nursing may be being outsourced, or just maybe technology is taking the place of certain things. So you want to kind of see what the future looks like for the job. Of course, with the degrees, the upward mobility, what kind of other possibilities are there? If you're a nurse for 10 years and you're just kind of getting tired of it, what else can you do with that nursing degree? One concern, if you're going for like the 2-year nursing degree from Northeast State, it kind of limits how much you can rise after, other than just being a nurse. If you want to be a supervisor or you want to get into teaching or whatever, you might have to go back to college and get another degree. And again, that's going to be kind of normal for y'all with your careers. But anyway, are there sideways you can move? Other ways you can move? One problem with an English degree. What do I do if I no longer want to teach English? Right? Open my own little English shop down there in downtown Kingsport. There are possibilities. There's all kinds of interesting things I could do, but it would take some research to see what might be out there for me. And that's kind of what I want you to do. You don't want to feel locked in your career. Section 4 should discuss your suitability for the job. Discussion of at least 3 good things, 3 bad things about the job. And every job has good things and bad things. Where's the stress come from in the job? Some students, when they research pharmacy, that's a stressful job. If you watch those people work at CVS, they don't stop. They're moving all day, and if they make a mistake, they could kill somebody. If I make a mistake as an English teacher, I just get a hostile email saying, "Hey, you didn't add this up right or something." Nobody gets hurt. But if a pharmacist makes a mistake, bad things can happen, right? A lot of stress there. They make pretty good money, but they earn it. What are the retention turnover rates? That's how long do people stay in that career. For example, teachers, about a quarter to a third of all teachers quit teaching after the first 5 years. That's a lot of education and certification to get to abandon your career. What's causing that? What kind of stressors are making teachers leave the field? It's kind of an interesting question. And of course, how can you market yourself? Are there professional clubs or organizations you can join? That's a good question for potential colleges you're looking at. What kind of professional organizations are affiliated with the college? How can that help you get a job when you get your degree? Keep in mind, when you graduate with whatever degree you're going to get, thousands of other people are going to have the same degree, and they're all going to be looking for those jobs. So you're looking to figure out how you can market yourself, make connections, and be the person people look at and say, "Hey, we got to hire this person." And that's kind of the focus of this section 4. You want to be aware of what the stressors are in the job and what you can do to make yourself marketable. So when you finally get that degree, you have a bunch of other stuff to put on your resume, and it's all going to look good, whether it's internships, volunteer work, things like this. And going to kind of bring the essay to a close with you kind of saying, "Hey, I think I got the right career. I think I got a good plan. Can't wait to get to it," right? If you're a little iffy, that's fine. You can kind of say, "Hey, I kind of got a plan, but now I'm kind of rethinking things a bit." It doesn't have to be a "yes, I know exactly what I want to do." Especially at your all's age, you're still trying to figure things out sometimes. But that's how the essay is going to work. Again, you want to make sure you have all 4 sections. Different careers are going to focus more in different sections, so not everybody's essay is going to be the same. There is a sample essay out there. If you go to Schoology and go to Help Resources and go to Sample Career Essay. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. When we start looking at the MLA formatting, we're going to look at this essay a lot more closely. But if you just want to see how the general organization works, this is an essay about a student who wants to be a mechanical engineer. And you're going to see it's following the basic outline of the essays. He's telling us why he's interested in this, what he wants to do, and very specifically what degree he's going to start seeking. Then he starts to talk about the requirements to be a mechanical engineer. He's wanting to go to UT Knoxville. And eventually he ended up going to Vanderbilt. So if you're reading this thing like, "Man, this guy's a pretty good writer," it's like, yeah, he's just smart all around. And the worst part is he's a really nice guy too. So he's got it all going on for him. But I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but notice he's just following that basic the outline. What do you need to get into mechanical engineering? He's going to account for his dual enrollment classes he's taking. So when we get to the academic plan down here, we're not going to see Comp 1 and Comp 2 because he already took those as dual enrollments. This is from a student in my dual enrollment class at what used to be Central High School. But there's this table. showing you all the classes he needs to get to a mechanical engineering degree. Lots of engineering and math, all right? I'm going to cite that table. Then he's going to talk about the costs of going to UT. Kind of nice thing. Some of you look like you're going to Northeast State, which is, Tennessee Promise pays for that. So it's kind of nice. But he's trying to figure out how he's going to pay for all this. And actually got a full ride to Vanderbilt. So kind of got lucky, but he's also very talented and earned it. Then he's going to start getting into the field itself. How much do mechanical engineers make? Right? If you're going to spend all this time getting a degree and spending all this money, you want a payoff there. And he's talking about, hey, I might have to move a little bit. And ultimately kind of talks about, hey, my real goal is to work. I want to be a space scientist, right? I want to work for NASA. And he starts talking about where he might have to go to do that. So again, you may not talk about that too much in your essay because you might be looking at a different field. But if you're looking at something that specific, I want to work in this place, make sure you talk about that in your essay and how you're going to get there. He's talking about his clubs, talking about internships, talking about the pros and cons of the job. And you kind of see this paragraphs are well organized, so it's easy to just kind of look at that topic sentence and see what the paragraph's going to cover. Talking about the negatives and kind of bringing the essay to a close. And then he has his works cited page here. As you start working with your sources, don't forget to come back to this sample essay when you use your Occupational Outlook Handbook source at the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This shows you exactly how to put that on your works cited page. The rest we'll cover in a separate video with the MLA stuff. Oops, I hit the. So just wanted to go over the essay there, look at the sample essay very quickly. But again, it's a very good sample essay to show you how the essay should work and how it covers all the different sections of the assignment. If you have any questions, be sure and let me know. And we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.